There are many videos on YouTube which tells you exactly how to match jewelry with any color of your outfit. But are you still confused? I think you are here searching for the answers. Let me tell you the magical process, step-by-step process through which you should always go through to decide your jewelry to match exactly with any of your outfit color, be it Indo-Western, be it Western, or be it purely Indian traditional wear. Hi, my namaste to all you beautiful people out there. This is Soumitra, your next door jewelry expert. The first point, select your focus point. Whether you decide to go out for a kiddie party or out with friends or to a gala event or to a wedding, always keep one focus point of your personality. That one focus point will define you there. Let's say you're going to a gala event with a black sequins dress. Then that becomes your focus point. If you decide to go for a chunky necklace or chunky earrings, then you will create two focus points and it will be an overall chaos. In this case, with your black sequins dress, your jewelry should become a secondary part. You should just go for a subtle earring or a subtle necklace and that's it. Do not create chaos. Now let's say suppose you are wearing something plain and simpler and you would like to have a focus point. Then go for a chunky necklace or a chunky jewelry piece in your ear. Because the role of jewelry here will be to complement your overall personality and not to overwhelm your only focus point such as your dress. When your dress is simpler, your jewelry should be your first focus point. When your dress is already taking the center stage, your jewelry should take a secondary part. Now, understanding this point will make you understand how much focus should you put in your jewelry whenever you are going for any outing. The second step is to understand your personality. You may be a minimalist person, you may be a chic glam sort of person who would always like to go over the top, or you may be a casual person or a boho person. Whatever the occasion is, your personality should always be a priority because that's what your dress and jewelry should speak about you. Let's say you are a person who is a minimalist. So whenever you decide for a jewelry, always go for minimal jewelry. You have to look for grace, not loudness. If you are a chic glam sort of a person, then your jewelry statement should be over the top. It should speak volumes about your personality. So then your focus should be more on statement pieces rather than simple pieces. So understanding this step would give you a fair idea about what kind of jewelry you are looking into for any occasion. Third point is understand your comfort level with the color of the jewelry. Ask yourself, are you comfortable with a jewelry color that stands out from your dress, or are you comfortable that your jewelry should have the same color as your dress type? Your comfort level would decide the color of your jewelry. Fourth point is your comfort level with artificial jewelry versus precious jewelry. Let me explain it to you. In precious jewelry, there are limited colors such as ruby, emerald, sapphire, black onyx stone, and several other colors which comes in beads form. While in artificial jewelry, you can have any color, let's say brown, purple, lilac, fuchsia, any color. If you are a person who understands that only precious jewelry colors looks good on you or you are comfortable with, then you will have to have that belief that whether your dress is red or fuchsia or burgundy, you are always going to get a ruby color only because that is what comes out from mining, not the red color. So if you are standing in a precious jewelry store, you will always get a ruby stone only, not red color. But if you are a person who is comfortable with the style quotient of artificial jewelry, then you can go for any matching color, and understanding your comfort level with artificial jewelry vis-a-vis precious jewelry will decide the choice of your jewelry color. Fifth point, never go too much with jewelry. Before deciding on jewelry, always take a moment and understand, do you require necklace? Do you require necklace and earrings both? Or even a mangtika, or even a chunky piece of bracelet or a big cocktail ring? If you think only necklace and earrings would suffice, then let be it. Do you think only earrings would be sufficient or only a mangtika would be sufficient? Just go for it. Do you think a large cocktail ring is required or a chunky piece of bracelet is required? See, it's always the overdoing that creates a problem. Just go with the minimal jewelry that is required for the occasion, and that depends totally upon the gathering, the kind of occasion, and your personality as well. Now, the sixth point is to understand your skin undertone. Look at the fair side of your wrist and look at the colors of the vein. If the overall appearance is towards the bluer side, then you are a person of cool undertone. If it appears more or less green, then you are a person of warm undertone. And if it appears a mix of blue and green, then you are a person of neutral undertone. Now, neutral undertone people can opt for any color in the world. But look at this diagram of color wheel. I have differentiated the cool undertone colors with the warm undertone colors. Now, this sounds very simple, but it is a little bit difficult. This theory decides the plating of your jewelry and the color element of your jewelry. Now let's understand with the example. But before that, let me tell you the summary. That is, when you are a person of cool undertone, your overall personality should reflect the dominating color from the cool undertone sides. If you are a person of warm undertone, then your overall personality dominantly should project a warm undertone side of color. Let's say you are a cool undertone person. You have to wear a Kanjivaram sari. If you wish to wear a Kanjivaram sari, then a wise choice should be a blue or purple Kanjivaram sari with a golden or silver thread work. Because blue and purple is your side of the color and you will be reflecting 80 to 90% of cool undertone color only. Now with the golden thread work, you can opt for a jewelry with a golden plating. That will not be a problem because you are already covered with 80 to 90% of your side of the color. So decide your dress also wisely. But suppose you are stuck or emotionally you want to wear your dadi's or grandparents' sari, but it does not resonate with your skin undertone, then what to do? Then you bring a color element in your jewelry. That way it overall balances the part. Suppose there is a red Kanjivaram sari with a golden thread work, but you are a person with cool undertone. What to do in this case? You're already stuck, whether emotionally or by choice or not by choice. Now you have to wear it. Now what about the jewelry choice? Just go for a neutral polki jewelry with no color element. That way is, even if the base of the jewelry is golden, it will depict mostly the white element out of it. So that way is you can create a balance in your overall personality. 7th point, whenever in doubt, go for neutral jewelry. Just that you have to decide whether to go for a diamond jewelry or a traditional polki or kundan type of jewelry. When to go for a diamond jewelry, it's fairly simple. Whenever you're going for a western or Indo-western kind of outfit, just go for a diamond jewelry. Now decide the polish. It can be either gold, rose gold or white. White means silver. So if you're a warm undertone person, keep the polish as gold or rose gold. If you're a cool undertone person, keep the plating as silver only. Similarly, if you're wearing a traditional outfit, purely Indian outfit, just go for a neutral polki or a kundan jewelry. And the plating here can be anything because the neutral polki stones will be dominating anyways. 8th point is understanding color wheel. We are understanding this color wheel only for the sake of matching jewelry and not deciding the color of your overall fashion style sense. So we will only focus on contrast color theory. Contrast color theory suggests that in a color wheel, any color opposite to a particular color is its contrast. For example, opposite to blue is yellow and opposite to yellow or golden is blue. That means if you are wearing a golden sari or a sari full of golden work, you can opt to wear a jewelry color which is blue. I know many of you haven't given a thought about it, but the opposite is also true. If you are wearing a royal blue color of sari or a blue color sari, you can wear a neutral golden jewelry as well. Similarly, if you are wearing a dress or a sari of a red color family, let's say it can be red, it can be burgundy, it can be carrot red, it can be fuchsia red. The contrast color is green color and vice versa. 9th and final point, how to decide color of your jewelry based on your outfit. Now understanding this is very important. But of course, understanding 8 points before this was equally important. Let's understand that creating a matching jewelry does not mean to replicate the exact colors of your dress. Had it been the case, you just had to take a cut from your dress or a sari and tie a knot around your neck and hang it with your ear. But that's not what it is supposed to do. Matching jewelry means creating an overall balance in your personality to make your personality shine. You do not have to act as a billboard of a jewelry or your dress. Your personality should shine. The jewelry and the dress are there to complement you, not vice versa. Now let's understand with 3 to 4 examples. Let's say you're wearing a red lehenga. And let's say your lehenga is full of embroidery, threadwork and prints. Now you are a person who is comfortable with the same color element of your dress. Okay, so you decided to go with a polki jewelry and a ruby element because you are comfortable with precious jewelry colors only, not the artificial ones. So you have decided to go with ruby color. Now, how much of a ruby color element should be there in your jewelry? If it is more than 10 to 20%, then think you are already 80% looking like a red person. And if your jewelry also replicates the same, then you are almost 90% covered with red color only. Since lehenga is a traditional one, go for a polki jewelry with so many neutral stones and the style you like, but only with a hint of ruby color in it. And you are set. But go with the light jewelry here because your lehenga is full of work. Suppose your blouse is on a plain simpler side than your skirt, then in this case go with a heavy polki jewelry but still with 10 to 15% of ruby color only. If you're a person who is comfortable with contrast color, again go with a heavy jewelry in this case because your blouse is simpler but not more than 10 to 15% green color element. Suppose you are wearing a black dress. In this case, if you are a person who can afford black color real precious jewelry, go for it. If not, just go with a diamond jewelry. Why? Because the essence of diamond jewelry is to go with Western dresses. Based on your skin undertone, you can always decide to bring in the play of green color with your black dress or a black sari. In our third example, let's take chikankari sari or chikankari kurti for an example. Now, many fashion pundits will blindly say, go for pearls. Yes, of course, you should go for pearls. But are you a person who is feeling that, you are too graceful in this white sari or too subtle? Just bring in the element of a color in it. Go for pearls, but with a hint of green color, with a hint of ruby color. That will elevate your overall personality. Now let's take the example of Kanjivaram sari. If you are wearing a Kanjivaram sari that is blue in color and golden border, and you don't want any other color element to add to your personality because you are already looking very blue, just go for a neutral polki jewelry with a golden base and you are set. You don't need to always go for the South Indian look and cover yourself totally with the temple jewelry. If you are wearing Kanjivaram sari blue in color with silver brocade work, then what to do? If it is not your own wedding, then you can go for silver oxidized jewelry. That will resonate with the thread color of your sari. But what if you are wearing this and you're a bride? That's a great bit of dilemma. Don't do it. Now the time for bonus tip. Always decide jewelry before buying a dress. Once you are sorted with the plating of the jewelry and the color of the jewelry before buying a dress, the whole process becomes much simpler. This is a bonus tip, very important. Try it the next time and let me know in the comment section which of the points you like the most. So this was my attempt to solve once and for all your jewelry matching problem with any of your outfit. Hope these 9 points help. If you have any confusion, write in the comment section. If you would like me to make a video on your suggestion, drop in the comment section. So see you soon in my next video with a brand new topic only suggested by my subscribers. This is Soumitra signing off for now, your next door jewelry expert.